You are listening to the news from the desk of GFPK. After watching our video dated 9th of March, are you curious to know what happened on 10th March? Let's find out. This is a news article from Herald GOA dated 10th March 2023, page 2. The article is by Team Herald. The title is Citizens Await FaceTime with SGPDA's Objection Hearing Committee to air concerns on ODP 2031. First, we shall see the highlights and then I shall tell you the news in detail. The highlights were question number 1. Has the SGPDA called for a report on Margao's water requirements for the next 10 years, that is till 2031? Question number 2. Has the Margao Municipal Council prepared a parking audit to facilitate future planning of road networks? Question number 3. Has the SGPDA considered garbage infrastructure ahead of land use planning? Question number 4. Has the ODP been taken into consideration the pollution of River Sal? Question 5. Has the Central Business District CBD been demarcated for planning the C1 commercial zones for Margao? And question number 6. Has the CRZ mandate for flood hazard line and Khazan land management been taken into account for this plan till 2031? And now the news in detail. Confusion prevailed at the South Goa Planning Development Authority (SGPDA) when a large group of citizens turned up at the office to submit their objections to the Margao Outline Development Plan (ODP 2031). SGPDA had invited Goinche Fudle Pilge Khatir, GFPK, at 3:15 p.m. on Friday for a meeting in connection with the NGO's objections to the draft ODP submitted in January this year. While the group later submitted their objections in writing, they termed the entire exercise by SGPDA a farce, as they had been called merely for a report-making exercise. The citizens were directed to meet SGPDA Building Inspector Mr. Damodar Naik, who is tasked with preparing a report on citizen suggestions and objections to the much criticized ODP. Naik told GFPK delegation of around 38 representatives that only the Objection Hearing Committee (OHC) is authorized to interact with the public for the objection hearing and he has no such authority. However, the group did not get any information about the constitution of the OHC. Meanwhile, GFPK have submitted a written letter to the member secretary of SGPDA requesting an interaction with the authorized committee for the objection hearing. Speaking to reporters after the visit, GFPK President Jack Mascarenhas highlighted some questions they had raised in their written objections and demanded that SGPDA take serious note of these observations/suggestions/objections for a sustainably planned Margao. Since many areas have been arbitrarily changed in zone from agriculture to settlement to commercial, and the road widths have been arbitrarily finalized, the construction proposals will also be arbitrarily finalized and have irreversible impact on Margao, said Mascarenhas. Given that there are central government guidelines that the state should have a land utilization and urbanization policy, it is critically important that the Margao town planners follow good practices, central government guidelines, and establish a state-level harmony in the norms for land use planning, Mascarenhas added. Otherwise, each land use planning authority will be a state unto themselves, and the future generation will question us on intergenerational equity on their land and water resources, which we have to sustainably plan today for the decades to come, said Mascarenhas.